Yo, welcome back to the Double and B Mob channel, man. Today we are here with George Carlin. Now, I am familiar with George Carlin. Um, I think I've only seen one thing on him, and that's the what was it? It was he was talking about quote unquote vulgar and like cuss words, like whatever that stand up was where he got arrested right after he got off stage. I want to say it was that. It's been so long since I've seen anything on George Carlin. Um, and I don't know much about him, but I know he is considered one of the greatest. Um, so I always wanted to get into it, and I know I've been on a music streak here on this channel since I've been back, since we've been back. So I was like, all right, well, let's get back into a little bit of comedy, a little bit of. So, and I always wanted to delve deeper and get more of a feel for George Carlin. So, this is Religion is Bullshit. That is, I can tell he's off the arm of, well, no, I don't know how, when did George Carlin come out, but I could tell he's one of the more controversial style of comedians, which is great. I love people that push the needle in their own way. Um, I'm really excited to hear this. Religion is bullshit. And I have an idea because in some ways I think I agree. But I would love to hear how he puts it together. So, George Carlin, Religion is Bullshit. Let's go.
But in the bullshit department, a businessman can't hold a candle to a clergyman. Because I gotta tell you the truth, folks. I gotta tell you the truth. When it comes to bullshit, big time, major league bullshit, you have to stand in awe. In awe of the all-time champion of false promises and exaggerated claims, religion. No contest. No contest. Religion easily has the greatest bullshit story ever told. Think about it. Religion has actually convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a special list of 10 things he does not want you to do. And if you do any of these 10 things, he has a special place full of fire and smoke and burning and torture and anguish where he will send you to live and suffer and burn and choke and scream and cry forever and ever till the end of time. But he loves you. He loves you.
I like how you put that together.
He loves you and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful, all perfect, all knowing, and all wise. Somehow, just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions of dollars. They pay no taxes, and they always need a little more. Now,
Not for nothing, I saw. I mean, we all know, like it's definitely some crooked pastors and preachers and all. But recently, I saw this. What was his name? Oh man, I can't think of his name. But bro, this preacher had a $5 million house. Fam, his church. It was so theatrical. Like it was almost like a Hollywood production was being done in the church. It had boom mics and crane cameras and the fucking it had a moving stage so he could like reenact his sermon, and he drove off in like some, I don't even know what year. It looked like some 2025 Benz. It had a Benz symbol. I said, yo fam, what this man do for a living? I could not believe it. I'm like, yo, bro, it's no way. It's no way. And we all know a lot of these preachers, man, they, but anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. He reminded me of that. But anyway.
You talk about a good bullshit story. Holy shit. But, thank you very much. But I want you to know something. This is sincere. I want you to know, when it comes to believing in God, I really tried. I really tried. I tried to believe that there is a God who created each of us in his own image and likeness, loves us very much, and keeps a close eye on things. I really tried to believe that, but I gotta tell you, the longer you live, the more you look around, the more you realize something is fucked up. Something is wrong here. War, disease, death, destruction, hunger, filth, poverty, torture, crime, corruption, and the ice-capades. Something is definitely wrong. This is not good work. If this is the best God can do, I am not impressed. Results like these do not belong on the resume of a supreme being. This is the kind of shit you'd expect from an office temp with a bad attitude. But just between you and me, in any decently run universe, this guy would have been out on his all-powerful ass a long time ago. And by the way, I say this guy because I firmly believe, looking at these results, that if there is a God, it has to be a man. No woman could or would ever fuck things up like this. If there is a God, if there is, I think most reasonable people might agree that he's at least incompetent and maybe, just maybe, doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit, which I admire in a person and which would explain a lot of these bad results. So rather than be just another mindless religious robot, mindlessly and aimlessly and blindly believing that all of this is in the hands of some spooky, incompetent father figure who doesn't give a shit, I decided to look around for something else to worship, something I could really count on, and immediately I thought of the sun. Happened like that. Overnight, I became a sun worshiper. Well, not overnight, you can't see the sun at night. First thing the next morning, I became a sun worshiper. Several reasons. First of all, I can see the sun, okay? Yeah. Unlike some other gods I could mention, I can actually see the sun. I'm big on that. If I can see something, I don't know, kind of helps the credibility along, you know? So every day I can see the sun as it gives me everything I need.
You know something, real quick? I'm going to take you back just a little bit. He has, and I should probably say it the other way around, because I'm 1,000,000% sure he is before Chappelle. He gives me like a Chappelle approach. It's not jokes. It's like he's talking about like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's almost like he's not trying to make you laugh. Like he's like really like educating you. And I guess just kind of like his tone or like his performance is giving you like that's the punchline. But it's really not jokes. Like there is no punchline. Like when you watch Chappelle, when you watch Chris Rock, like they're having like almost a conversation with you, and it's about like real life stuff. And a lot of the stuff be like serious stuff, so it's like it's almost not funny, but it's like because like of course Chris Rock, his voice and his delivery, that's the punch. Chappelle, his delivery, same with him. It's like his performance and him moving around and like his when his eyebrows and his eyes get wide open, that's the punchline. But it's like he's almost not even telling jokes almost. It's crazy. And I love that style. Y'all know Chappelle is my guy. So, and I don't know why I'm getting that Chappelle feel. And I'm 1,000,000% sure he's before Chappelle. So, okay, alright. So I really do love this style. And another person, Bill Burr. Like a lot of Bill Burr shit isn't really jokes. It's his delivery and, you know, like the infamous No Reason to Hit a Woman, Bill Burr, right? Bill Burr was like, he said, he was like, really, there's no reason to hit a woman. I could give you like 37 off the top of my head. You know what I mean? Like, that's not supposed to be funny, but the delivery and how he set it up makes it funny. But you know what I don't know.
So every day I can see the sun as it gives me everything I need. Heat, light, food, flowers in the park, reflections on the lake, an occasional skin cancer, but hey, at least there are no crucifixions, and we're not setting people on fire simply because they don't agree with us. Sun worship is fairly simple. There's no mystery, no miracles, no pageantry, no one asks for money, there are no songs to learn, and we don't have a special building where we all gather once a week to compare clothing. And the best thing about the sun, it never tells me I'm unworthy. Doesn't tell me I'm a bad person who needs to be saved. Hasn't said an unkind word. Treats me fine. So I worship the sun. But I don't pray to the sun. Know why? I wouldn't presume on our friendship. It's not polite. I've often thought people treat God rather rudely, don't you? Asking, trillions and trillions of prayers every day, asking and pleading and begging for favors, do this, give me that, I need a new car, I want a better job. And most of this praying takes place on Sunday, his day off. It's not nice, and it's no way to treat a friend. But people do pray, and they pray for a lot of different things. You know, your sister needs an operation on her crotch. Your brother was arrested for defecating in a mall. But most of all, you'd really like to fuck that hot little redhead down at the convenience store. You know, the one with the eye patch and the club foot. Huh? Can you pray for that? I think you'd have to. And I say, fine, pray for anything you want. Pray for anything. But what about the divine plan? Remember that? The divine plan. Long time ago, God made a divine plan. Gave it a lot of thought, decided it was a good plan, put it into practice. And for billions and billions of years, the divine plan has been doing just fine. Now you come along and pray for something. Well, suppose the thing you want isn't in God's divine plan. What do you want him to do? Change his plan? Just for you? Doesn't it seem a little arrogant? It's a divine plan. What's the use of being God if every rundown schmuck with a $2 prayer book can come along and fuck up your plan? And here's something else, another problem you might have. Suppose your prayers aren't answered. What do you say? Well, it's God's will. Thy will be done. Fine, but if it's God's will and he's going to do what he wants to anyway, why the fuck bother praying in the first place? Seems like a big waste of time to me. Couldn't you just skip the praying part and go right to his will? It's all very confusing. So to get around a lot of this, I decided to worship the sun. But, as I said, I don't pray to the sun. You know who I pray to? Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci. Two reasons. First of all, I think he's a good actor, okay? To me, that counts. Second, he looks like a guy who can get things done. Joe Pesci doesn't fuck around.
Joe Pesci, he's the one that's in like all the mob movies.
In fact, Joe Pesci came through on a couple of things that God was having trouble with. For years, I asked God to do something about my noisy neighbor with the barking dog. Joe Pesci straightened that cocksucker out with one visit. It's amazing what you can accomplish with a simple baseball bat. So I've been praying to Joe for about a year now. And I noticed something. I noticed that all the prayers I used to offer to God and all the prayers I now offer to Joe Pesci are being answered at about the same 50% rate. Half the time I get what I want, half the time I don't. Same as God, 50-50. Same as the four-leaf clover and the horseshoe, the wishing well and the rabbit's foot. Same as the mojo man. Same as the voodoo lady who tells you your fortune by squeezing the goat's testicles. It's all the same, 50-50. So just pick your superstition, sit...
What? Like, bro, this is why y'all know I'm goofy, man. Why did I laugh so hard at that?
It's all the same, 50-50. So just pick your superstition, sit back, make a wish, and enjoy yourself. And for those of you who look to the Bible for moral lessons and literary qualities, I might suggest a couple of other stories for you. You might want to look at The Three Little Pigs. That's a good one. Has a nice, happy ending. I'm sure you'll like that. Then there's Little Red Riding Hood, although it does have that X-rated part where the big bad wolf actually eats the grandmother, which I didn't care for, by the way. And finally, I've often always drawn a great deal of moral comfort from Humpty Dumpty. The part I like the best, all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. That's because there is no Humpty Dumpty and there is no God. None, not one, no God, never was. In fact, I'm gonna put it this way. If there is a God, may he strike this audience dead. See, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Everybody's okay. All right? Tell you what. I'll raise the stakes a little bit. If there is a God, may he strike me dead. See? Nothing happened. Oh, wait, got a little cramp in my leg. And my balls hurt. Plus, I'm blind. Oh, now I'm okay again. Must have been Joe Pesci, huh? God bless Joe Pesci. Thank you all very much. Joe bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You got one of homosexual. Oh my gosh. You got one of homosexuals? Oh no. Yeah, his approach is really like, it's not a joke. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but like, and that's the thing that I love most about Chappelle. If you've watched Chappelle recently, outside of like when he's telling stories about his personal life, like when Chappelle is just talking about Black Lives Matter or anything going on, it's not jokes. Like, it's like almost like a lecture slash, I don't know, but I love that approach. I love comedy that's real, you know? Like it's I don't know, but it's like, it's almost as if they're not trying to make you laugh. They're trying to make you upset or make you think or make you, you know, like, I don't know. But I love that style of comedy. That style of comedy where you almost don't even have to laugh to enjoy the show. Y'all notice I really didn't laugh much. But I'm so intrigued by watching and hearing his stories. That's another thing about a lot of comedians. Even if they're not necessarily making you laugh, their style of talking and conveying their message is like so intriguing to watch that it's like you could just sit there and watch it. Like, even if you don't laugh. Like, honestly, there's a good amount of Chris Rock I don't laugh. But his style and his voice and his stage presence and all of that combined is what makes Chris Rock Chris Rock. It's like, if you ask a lot of people about Chris Rock, they'll tell you like it's a lot of his jokes that don't really hit, but Chris Rock, his energy, his voice, all of that, that's what makes you laugh. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Who's somebody that like, I need a list of like comedians. Let me see. A list of comedians. Where Richard Pryor kind of like that. Well, no. Well, Richard Pryor does have jokes where it's not intended to be where it gives off a feeling of not trying to be funny. But Richard Pryor, Richard Pryor mastered the art of setting up a punch or setting up a joke, even if it's not necessarily a joke, and like, I don't know, just smacking you in the face with it. I don't even know how to describe it, but like, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see some comedians that don't almost tell. Bernie Mac. That's somebody. Like, a lot of Bernie Mac jokes is based off of his voice and his performance and the way he looked, the way he talked. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost not even jokes. You know, I love that approach. So I want to watch the one on homosexuals. I am very, very excited to see what he got to say about that. So I'm gonna check that out. But y'all recommend more George Carlin, man. I'm tuned in now. Religion is bullshit, and some of the stuff it was, like a lot of the earlier points. That's more of a church thing and more man-made stuff. Um, like I don't think anywhere in the Bible God tells you to give him money. Um, I don't think there's anywhere in the Bible where God says, "Yeah, just ask me to do something and I'm gonna do it for you." Like, it's a lot of stuff that he kind of like played with, but at the same time, I get the premise. It's like because I'm kind of the same way. I do believe in God, but I can't tell y'all the last time I've been to church. And that's the thing. You don't have to go to church, or you don't have to conform to like social beliefs of what religion is in order to believe in whatever you believe in. So, like I said, I can't tell you the last time I've been to church, but I do pray. And this idea that you gotta get on your knees and like sometimes just saying thank God for whatever you thanking him for. Like, if you nearly escaped death in a car accident, or you just happy to be breathing, you just say, oh, thank God. Like that's a form of a prayer. Now, of course, when you bow your head and say grace, that type of prayer, but like any way that you thank God is how you thank God. It doesn't have to be a prayer. So, I understand what he was trying to say, and most of it I agree with. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. The money thing, bro, I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I got family that watch this, so I'm not. I ain't gonna say it, but if you know what church I go to, yeah, I ain't gonna say it, but I appreciate y'all for watching. Shout out to is George Carlin still alive? Does he still perform? I hope I'm not about to say something. No, he died in 2008. Oh wow. Damn, man. I never get to see any of the greats. Everybody passed away, man. June 22nd, 2008. Okay. Well, I want to watch more George Carlin, so y'all please recommend it. And I'm definitely checking out that homosexuals one. I got to hear that one. But I appreciate y'all for watching. Until next time, peace.